Alright, hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Federica and we are doing a week of creatively sequenced Sun Salutations. This is day 3 where we will be looking at arm balances and strengthening upper body. Particularly we are working towards crow pose. So if this sounds something fun and inviting, make sure to jump on your mat and grab a couple of blocks. I'm going to suggest how to use them in class. If you don't have blocks, you can always normally substitute it in class with maybe books or other objects like water bottles, but I need you to have something quite sturdy and of a similar shape so you can put some weight on it, as we're going to be using them in things like planks, chaturangas, etc. If you don't have one, that's fine. You can totally do them on the mat with your hands down, but it can be a quite nice addition to try something new and to condition your body in a different way. So towards the second half of this video, my camera is going to decide to poop itself and not turn back on, and because I really want this video to go out in time and to not miss out the upload, I decided to reach into my archives and finish off the video with some archive footage with the stretches I wanted to do anyways. So just so you're aware, the scene's going to change, my hair is going to change, the room's going to be in a different setup. It's all okay, it's just a year-old footage that we are using. So yeah, please don't mind that. On that note, let's go through our disclaimers. I cannot see the way you are practicing because this is a video, hello. So please listen to your own body. If you do have any injuries, specifically around your shoulders, wrists, as that's where we're going to be putting most of our weight today, then maybe sit this one out and go and watch the first 2 days, maybe repeat a practice from there. And if you do have any particular conditions such as pregnancies, etc., make sure you discuss this with your healthcare provider like your GP to make sure that it's okay for you to continue your practice. And yeah, take any adjustments. Even if I don't mention something, you want to try something differently, please do go ahead, use your common sense and your cues that your body is giving you in terms of what feels right. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to be starting laying down today on our backs, so come into a comfortable position for you to lay down. You can have your knees in the air touching together, feet nice and wide apart, almost like you wanted to create a V-like shape with your legs. Your hands can be falling onto your body, maybe chest and belly to feel your breath, or arms apart. You can, of course, close down your eyes if that is comfortable for you, or keep a very soft, light gaze. We're going to start with a few deeper breaths in and out. So take a long breath in through your nose, and a full, long exhale out through your mouth. And repeat, breathe in all the way, and let go all the way. Awesome. See if you can seal your lips and just breathe in and out through your nose if that is available to you. And just notice the rhythm of your breath wherever it naturally sits, without trying to control it or change it. Just staying with the flow of it, coming in through your body and out through your body. We are using this awareness and the breath to create one single point of focus for the mind. Slowly starting to detach from your day, detach from future even. See if you can let go of any planning and give yourself this moment of softness and stillness. Maybe even leaning into that sensation of melting into ground, feeling those points of contact with the mat, maybe on your back body, on your feet, your arms. And then an invitation for today is to work with the mantra, I am resilient. I am resilient. And just repeating it over and over softly allowing your attention to rest on that mantra. And maybe noticing how it starts to transform your mindset, the way you feel. And even if it's a bit harder to connect to it today, give it time, give yourself some patience. It's okay. There's no rush, there's no particular way you need to feel here during your practice. I am Brazilian. And if it's helpful, you can even picture moments in your life when you have pushed further than you thought was possible. And then we're going to take a full breath into that maybe vision in your mind, that memory, that sensation of resilience in your body and your mind. So take a full breath in once again. And a full let go, sigh out, release. Awesome. You're going to slowly start to awaken ourselves, our body. So maybe starting by squeezing the fingers in and out. Maybe tilting the head side to side. Then you can reach your arms over your head, take a big stretch. You can even lean to one side for a bit of a side body stretch, and then the other one. And relaxing the upper body, bring your knees apart and just allow them to rock side to side in what we call windshield wipers. A few of these. Very good. Then we're going to take the knees into your chest and maybe start to rock up and down. You can hold into your knees or the backs of your thighs, almost like you are massaging through your back body. So you can take a few of these. Very good. Next time you're going to come up, you come up all the way to a seat. And we're going to find a lift here upright from the chest and the crown of the head, almost like something is pulling you up, lifting you up. You're going to slightly lean back and see if you can keep that neutral or more or less flat back. Perhaps come onto your tippy toes. Or see if you can lift one shin and then the other. You can do this in few rounds. If it's okay with you, see if you can lift both shins of the mat. If you start to again sink and round in, tap your feet down, pull onto the thighs, lift up, and then detach from the ground nice and slowly. Very good. Now your next challenge from here will be to reach your arms away from the legs. Very good. And then we're going to start to lower from this boat position to low boat. You're going to extend, hover off the mat and lift back up. Very good. And let's do 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 more. Very good. Awesome. Bring your feet down and sway your arms out to your right. We're going to take the left hand around that right thigh, lift up, and exhale, twist, look to the back of the room. Very good. See if you can draw that right shoulder back in space. And inhale and roll. We're going to switch sides. Do the same thing. Bring your left hand behind you, hug around that right leg. Inhale, lift upwards. Exhale, draw the left shoulder back. Awesome. Now we're going to be staying with the chest forward. We're going to add the arms, the forearms into the knees and the palms flexed forward, the fingers pointing up. Think about you're pushing into a wall, you're spreading your fingers nice and wide. Very good. And then we're going to lean back. Again, come onto your tippy toes. See if you can hover the feet off the mat. So it's like your boat pose, but this time a little bit more rounding in the back. And keep on pressing actively the knee and the arms together. Very good. So you're going to do the same thing, low boat and lift up. See if you can touch. Maybe even bringing the knees higher in towards your tricep, if that's available. Very good. You got 2 more, you got it. And 1 more. Hold it here. Think about you're pushing between the hands. For 3, 2, and 1. Cross your feet, lean forward and come out into your tabletop. Very nice. In your tabletop, you're going to keep the palms down, fingers spreading nice and wide. Engage down for the fingertips. The knees are hip width apart. Very good. As we are here, we're going to start to protract between the shoulder blades. So I'd like you to focus on the space between your lats and that sensation of slightly rounding upwards. So not doing cat-cows, we are not curling the tailbone underneath, we are just pushing into hands, lifting out for the arms. And on your exhale, we're going to sink down between the shoulders. And we're going to repeat this, protract and retract. Let's do a few of these. So once again, we are not moving the hips. We are just lifting in and out through the hands by pushing into them and then releasing into them. Very good. Now that you have this awareness, keep that protraction, keep that rounding up, pushing into your hands. Toes tucked, we're going to hover the knees for your bear pose for 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down, very good. We're going to repeat push, round, and hover the knees, bear for 5, 4, very nice, 3, 2, and 1, very good. On your inhale, you're going to drop the belly, look forward. Now we are coming into a cat-cow. So really arch the tailbone up, lift the chin up. With your exhale, round your spine, tailbone, head down, maybe gaze behind you. Inhale, lift, look forward. Exhale, round. You can stay in this with this motion, or if you want to explore your body a little bit further, you can start to go more sideways. You can roll around your hips. You can move your neck, just finding a little bit of freedom. Doesn't matter what it looks like, as always, just focus on the sensation in your own body. It does not have to match my movement. Maybe what helps is staying with the breath and your eyes closed. You've got 2 more rounds of breath. Just wiggle through the spine. Very nice. Now, keeping your hands down, we're going to be lifting up onto the fingers, lifting the heels of the hands off the mat. And with your exhale, with resistance, placing them down. And we're going to repeat this, so we're conditioning the wrists. Very good. See if you can really focus on that slow release. We've got 10 in total, so about 7 more left. You can always bear more weight into your knees, or you can bear more weight into your hands. Awesome, we got last 3, you got it. Really nice. And one last one. We're going to flip the hands, fingers pointing to one another, palms facing towards you. We're going to do a similar motion. We're going to lift up onto your fingers, keeping the fingers down, backs of the hands off the mat. And you're going to repeat, so you're going to lower and lift, and lower and lift. Very good, you got 5 more. Moving your own pace. Again, you can bear more weight into your knees. Focus on that tension as you go up and down nice and slowly. Awesome. As you release from that last one, you can sit back onto your toes to stretch out the feet, and at the same time shake out your arms. Give them a good wiggle. You can wiggle the shoulders, the arms, the neck. Awesome. Bring the hands back down, and we're going to tuck the toes and lift into a first downward facing dog. From here, right away, start to tiptoe all the way to the front of the mat, forward fold. Maybe hold onto your opposite elbow and start to sway side to side, relaxing the body weight towards the ground. One more exhale here. On your inhale, halfway lift, flat back, and we're going to rise all the way. Reach the arms over the head, and exhale, draw the hands down. Palms face forward, shoulders roll back in space, chin is parallel to the ground, and there's a slight bend in the knees. Take a breath in and out. On your next inhale, reach your arms over your head. On your exhale, we're going to hinge and bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, plank, and bring your knees down for supported plank. Let's take a moment to really focus on alignment here. So find a strong line from the crown of the head pulling towards the knees. The tailbone is almost pointing into your heels. Very good. With your exhale, you're going to bend the elbows almost like you want to rub them alongside your ribs. And with resistance, you lower down in that strong line. On your inhale, you lift into your baby cobra. And to make sure we are using the back, see if you can hover the hands off the mat. Very good. For 3, keep on pressing the feet down, engage their glutes. 2. And one more breath. Very good. Release. We're gonna lift back up into that supported plank, and we're gonna repeat. Exhale, supported chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra. Hover the hands of the mat. Long neck, gaze down. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower the chest, hands to the mat. Lift yourself back. One more of the same round. Exhale with resistance lower. Inhale, lift up. This time, if you want, hover the feet as well. Maybe hands come behind you, interlace the fingers and pull the arms further back into your lockers. Breathe here. Very nice. 2 more breaths. Keep the glutes active like somebody's pulling your feet back, the arms back, resist the ground, and release on your exhale. Very nice. Hands down for support. Press all the way back. You can come to child's pose if you want to take a little bit more time to yourself, or lift into your downward facing dog, inverted V-like shape. Now in your down dog, you can pedal out the legs, you can wiggle, you can shake out the head, or you can stay still. See if you can push down for your fingertips and keep on pointing the tailbone up as you're stretching out the legs. Very good. On your next inhale, you're going to step the right foot forward and the left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and rise. Exhale, draw the hands down, maybe hands by your side or to your body. Couple breaths here, maybe eyes closed. And again, inhale, reaching up, rising tall for the arms. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step back or step back or hop back. Once again, you can take the same kneeling position for building strength in your arms. Or if a full chaturanga is available to you, bend your elbows again towards your ribs. Hover a little bit off the mat and then push the chest up and tuck the toes. Hips are still hovering. This is your upward facing dog. If you're sinking down between your shoulders, push into your hands and think about rubbing the lats of the back together. Very nice. On your exhale, you can roll over the toes. You can also use the knees down, tuck the toes, and then send the hips up for your downward facing dog, or alternatively into your child's pose. You got 3 breaths there. You can move your body or you can stay still. And we're gonna switch from here into a salutation bees now. So gaze to the front of the mat, bend into your knees, step or hop to the front. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat back, and right away as you bend your knees, you lift the chest and you're gonna sit into your heels. Just like before, if you want, we've done this before, you can take your block between your thighs to have more engagement in the legs. Breathe here. If your knees are apart, your feet are apart. Vice versa. If the feet are together, the knees are together. Breathe. A little bit longer. You got it. I know it's burning. One more. Exhale. Remove your block. Fold forward. Inhale. Halfway lift. Hands down. And this is where the blocks can come into play. If you want your next round, your salutation bees, you can do with your hands onto your blocks on either height, flat or medium. You step back your normal way into your plank. And on your exhale again, you're going to take the flow now down. So chaturanga or kneeling chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog. Hover the hips of the mat. And exhale to your downward dog. Very nice. On your inhale, you're going to step the right foot forward. I did not calculate the space very well with that bird of paradise. And we're going to come into a kneeling position. So left knee down, sweep the arms up. Very good. Big tuck on your toes and now lift into your high lunge. Very nice. Breathe here for 2. And 1 more. We're going to pivot the back heel into warrior 2. For 2. And 1 more breath. Very nice. Bring your arms behind you, lift the chest and exhale, bow down. Humble warrior. And inhale, lift up. Bring your hands to your blocks or onto the ground. Take a big step back for plank or 3-legged plank. So as you step back, you can keep your right foot in the air and exhale, bend into that chaturanga. Inhale to open up forward and exhale for your downward dog. If you want to skip your vinyasas, if your arms Well, too tired today, that's fine. You can go right back into downward dog and skip the flow. We're going to take it on the other side. So inhale, left leg up, and take a big step forward with that left foot. Very good. Start with your right knee down, sweep the arms up, and then good tuck on the toes, lift yourself up. High lunge, very good, for 2, and 1. Pivot the back heel, push the outer edge of that back foot, opening the arms apart, warrior 2 for 2, and 1 more. Exhale. You're gonna bring your hands behind you, lift the chest for your humble warrior. With your exhale, you bow down, head relaxes, arms relax, but legs are active for 2, and 1. Inhale, you lift up, draw your hands onto your blocks again, step back, maybe for that three-legged variation, so the left foot can stay in the air. Exhale, lower, bending the elbows. Inhale, push for the hands, lift the chest. Exhale, back into that downward dog shape. Very nice, gaze forward, bend into your knees, step or hop. Inhale, halfway lift, sweep the arms forward. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. We're gonna step or hop back. Once again, hands can stay on the block. Take your flow, and then we're gonna meet in downward facing dog. As we meet in that downward dog, right away, stepping the right foot through. Inhale. We're gonna rise through that low lunge first. Tuck toes and high lunge. We're just repeating. Exhale, warrior 2. Bring the hands behind you, lift the chest. Exhale, bow to the side. Inhale, lift. Taking it on the other side, frame your hands on your block. Take your flow in between or skip your flow. We are meeting on your exhale in your downward dog. And again, left side. Inhale, left foot goes up. Exhale, step the left foot through for your low lunge. You rise, high lunge. You exhale, warrior 2. Bring the hands together behind, lift the chest, and bow to the side, humble warrior. Inhale, lift up, bring your hands down, and step back. Maybe again, that flow with the foot in the air or skipping it. Now this time from your downward facing dog, with hands either on the block or on the ground, depending on which variation is available to you. We're going to start to bend the elbows, almost like you wanted to dip down to dolphin, but we're going to stay hovering in the air. And you're going to extend. So you're going to dip the elbows down and extend. Keep your gaze behind you for 3. You've got 2 more left. And 1 more. See if you can hover here. Keep on sending the tailbone up. Slight bend in your elbows. Maybe more weight onto your tippy toes. Very good. Bring your knees down for support. Step your blocks forward. We're going to come towards puppy pose. So the tailbone is sticking up. The hands are either on the block or on the mat. The arms are really wide, maybe even wider than the shoulders. And you're slowly, slowly allowing the chest or the chin to go towards the ground. Maybe it's the forehead. Very nice. Keep on sticking the tailbone up. Breathing between your lats. For 2 more breaths. Awesome. On your inhale, you're going to rise back up, push through your hands. If your blocks are further out and a little bit closer in, rise back into that downward dog, and we're going to this time reach the right leg up for that 3-legged downward facing dog, but we're going to be bringing the right knee towards the right tricep as high as you can and back up. It might tap, it might not tap, that's fine. Very good. You got round 3, and see if you can hover it here, maybe even bend slightly into the elbows for 3, 2, and 1. Step it out. Downward dog, and then inhale, left foot up, 3-legged downward dog. We're going to take the left knee towards the left tricep and back up. So notice I am rolling on the ball of my foot. Very nice. Next time on that round 3, as you bring the left knee towards the left tricep, whether they are touching or not, slightly bend the elbows if that's available for 3, 2, and 1. Step it out. Very nice. If you want to recharge the ground, bring yourself all the way down. Child's pose, maybe hands stay on the blocks to add more stretch for the shoulders, or hands to the ground, or even by your side, or looped around your lower back. On your inhale, you're gonna lift yourself up into a seat. Move those blocks out to the side for now. And have your hands, the elbows touching the ground. So you're gonna lift into dolphin pose. Dolphin pose is like your downward dog, but with your elbows to touch the ground. Now you can have the palms pressing into the ground, forearms parallel to one another. Some people prefer hands in a prayer-like shape or fingers interlaced, or perhaps holding onto a block. So it gives you that cue of keeping the elbows in this distance apart, shoulder distance. So if you're not too sure what's shoulder distance apart, a cheat sheet is you grab your opposite elbow, you loop the hands so you should be able to grab them. You bring the hands back down, the arms back down, I'm sorry. Keep the elbows pointing into a mat as you unravel the hands apart. So that's your shoulder width apart. And remember that protraction from the start. We need to apply it here. So you're gonna, before you lift up the hips, you're gonna push into the elbows and feel that rounding in between the lats. And we're gonna keep that rounding, tuck the toes, lift the hips up, gaze behind you. This is your dolphin. You can stay here or tiptoe closer in. So if you can send your weight onto your tippy toes and resist the ground for pushing into your hands. Very good, 2 more breaths, you got it. And exhale, knees down, child's pose, maybe arms by your side. You can even have that block below your forehead, can be quite a nice adjustment for the neck. Very nice. You're going to lift out from this shape on your inhale. And we're going to start to play into a crow variation. Don't get too scared. I'll give you plenty of options. There's no pressure for you to lift up all the way. You can just work on the foundations and really just strengthen your body and your mind at the same time. So we're going to start with our foundations. Number 1 will be our hands. We're going to start first bringing weight into the wrists without having the knees attached to the arms. So this is just building up that mental confidence, that mental resilience. So all you're going to do is you're going to bring your hands down onto a mat, spread the fingers really wide and choose a point to look at in front of you. So it's, your gaze isn't between your hands, it's over the hands, almost like you wanted to create a triangle between the points of your hands, and the tip of the triangle is your gaze, is your drishti. So you bring those fingers nice and wide, you find your point of focus, and all you're going to do is lift up into almost like a forward fold shape, and you're going to lean up and down. And you can really rock onto the balls of your feet into the heels. And you're going to repeat this. All we're doing is adding more weight into the arms, and we are feeling a little bit more comfortable with leaning forward. Now, if this is okay, see if you can lean forward and slightly bend into your elbows, straighten out and lean back onto your heels. And you're going to repeat this. Very nice. The gaze is not moving. Now, if this is okay, your next exercise, your next drill will be bringing the knees into the arms. There's 2 techniques. Technique number 1 that some people use is having the knees on the outside of the arms, so they're almost like hugging onto them. For this technique, you're going to need to engage your inner thighs a little bit more and have the sensation of wrapping the legs onto the arms. For the second technique is the one that works for my body best, is instead of having the knees on the outside of the arms, the knees are pointing into the backs of the arms, into the tricep. This technique can be a little bit more uncomfortable, so you can feel quite a bit of pressure. So maybe some people say it's painful, which is perfectly normal, especially when you're starting out, because it's a new thing in your body. So either way, you can try them both. You can build towards either variation. So you have your hands down, you find your point of focus, you lift up into that forward fold, and you tiptoe in the feet as close behind your hands as you can. Now you're going to bend the elbows and bend the knees and find a position where your knees can touch your tricep from either behind or slightly more from the side. Now, to find our flight, we really need to bring the bum up in the air. The bum is what's weighing you down and make you fall back into seat. So we need to apply that leaning forward again. So once your knees are attached to your arms, you're going to find your drishti and you're going to lift onto the balls of the feet and lean into it. That's it. You don't need to lift the feet anymore. Just feel that pressure of the knees, arms touching together. pushing against your fingertips, slightly rounding between those legs and holding your gaze steady. So you can work on holding this. Feet are still down, you're just on your tippy toes or the balls of the feet. When that's enough, you can lean back. So you can do this a few times. And then the next thing from here, if this is okay, is to scoop one foot into your bum. I'm going to start with my right foot. I'm going to point my toes and hug actively the heel into my glutes. So this allows me to send the hips higher. And I tap it down and I switch and try the other leg. That's all. Again, in between, you can take some break for your wrists. And then essentially we are just building it up from there. If holding each foot becomes more bearable, more comfortable, less challenging, then you can try to puzzle it together. So again, hands pressure into the hands, rounding between the legs, steady gaze. I attach my knees to the backs of my arms. I lean forward on my tippy toes. And then I think about scooping that foot on one leg, then the other. It might be just a microsecond. It might be a bit longer. So you can just play with this, essentially pointing the toes into the bum. And really the emphasis on hugging the heels up and bringing the hips up. If your hips are far back behind you, your bum is going to weigh you down, you're going to fall into your seat, which is fine. It's just what's going to happen. If you're too scared from falling forward, then work on that technique that I gave you at the very start, where you're still onto the balls of the feet, you're just leaning back and forth. So you're starting to feel a little bit more weight, a bit more gripping into the fingertips. So you're mentally becoming more prepared for that lean. Some people will use a block below that forehead. So for that, when you lean forward, it needs to be the block quite far out. So you take it down onto its flat set, bring it in line with your fingers, the tops of your fingers, so that's where the block will start, and then you lift it up. You can keep it on this edge or this edge, doesn't matter, but that's roughly the position where it needs to be. There we go. So that's where it would go. I don't usually practice with this. I've got a little bit of a bubble on my mat. But this is essentially where it would go. And again, how do I get onto that block? I first find strength in my hands, microbend the elbows, touch the knees, lean onto my tippy toes, and rest the forehead down. Now you still want though the weight not in your head but into your arms. This is just a cue for you to know where the direction where you're going. If you're putting weight into your head, you're gonna flop the arms apart, you're gonna again fall down. So you still wanna feel the strength for the arms. This is the moment my camera pooped itself, so we are switching footage, just so you're aware. The end of my sentence was that this is still an arm balance, not a head balance, so make sure to keep on pushing for your hands, regardless whether your head is touching a block or not. Whenever you finish playing with your crow pose, come down to a seat, anything that is comfortable for you. Bring your hands in front of you, take a moment to roll out your wrist. Few circles here, again, any clicking sounds are welcome. And then squeezing your hands in and out a few times, really strong, really firm, like you are squeezing a stubborn lemon, more and more and more and more, until you feel the forearms burning, and a little bit longer. Keep on going, you've got this, and shake it out. That's it. Take a few circles for your shoulders, few half circles for your neck. You lift up the knees. We're going to extend the right leg and then grab that left foot and crossing it over to the other side of that leg. Pull that ankle more towards the side of your right hip. I slightly turn so you can see it better. And so now the knee is bent, pointing forward towards the front toes, towards the front of the room. Inhale, lift up. Again, maybe keep a prop below your seat here. Lift upwards slightly. And then option is to lean further forward or stay high up and instead take a stretch for your arms. So bringing your arms in front of you, placing your right elbow on top of the left, either pressing the backs of the hands together or the palms touching one another. So you're binding your hands in your eagle arms. Another option is to keep your hands to your shoulders. Everyone's body is different, so find what works for you and what works for you today. Find a spot that works the best for your chin, so maybe closer to your chest or maybe neutral neck. breathing here. So we are looking for the stretch at the back of the neck, down towards the shoulders. One last exhale. And then release the arms, shake them out. And then we're going to untangle the legs. So you can use your hand to remove that right ankle out, the left ankle out to the left side. Bend into the right knee as well. Take a few sways with your knees side to side in your windshield, and then we will swap sides. So this time we will be extending the left leg, that right ankle, I can't get these sides right today clearly, more out towards the left side. So right ankle, left hip. So your right knee can be bent, pointing over towards the front of the room. Doesn't matter how close the two knees are to one another, find a spot that feels like it's stretching the side of your right leg, but without any pain into the knees. So inhale, lift the chest up. And then either the option is to hinge forward from the hips, lean over and round and release, or staying up, taking the stretch for the arms. If you've done it before, I would recommend to do it on the other side so we can stretch both sides equally. This time crossing the left elbow on top of the right, two backs of the hands together or palms together in your eagle arm, or maybe hands onto your shoulders. Wherever you are, if you are seated up with your crossed arms, tall seat, inhale, feel like you're rising up. Lengthening each exhale, releasing to the ground. Perhaps repeating that affirmation over and over to help yourself here. I am strong. I am strong. Let go of our mantra. Shake out the arms once again, and then uncross your right foot to the mat. Bring your left foot to the mat. Sway the knees side to side a few times in your windshield. And then you have the option to either end your practice laying down onto your back body, if that's calling for you, nice and grounding, or perhaps staying seated today, a little bit more energetic, staying in your meditation posture. You can again sit up onto a block, cushion, or maybe a rolled up blanket to give yourself a little bit of a lift. The legs can be crossed or in front of one another in your easy seat, or you can also be kneeling still, perhaps on a cushion or a block. I'd allow your hands to rest onto your thighs or knees, either palms down, a bit more grounding position, palms up, more receiving. Now wherever you are, take a long inhale in, long exhale, release. And then start to arrive into that stillness, whether you are laying down or you are seated up. Giving your body the permission to rest and relax. Restoring your physical strength, your energetic strength. And restoring peace in your mind. And if your mind wanders, you can repeat your affirmation, I am strong, or anything else that allows you to ground down. then wherever you are, bring your hands to your heart center, either into your Namaste Mudra or both hands on top of one another onto your chest, bowing your chin down towards your inner teacher as always, in honor and gratitude towards your practice first, and then in honor and gratitude towards yourself, thanking yourself for showing up on your mat, dedicating time to your well-being. And one more time, repeating your affirmation, I am strong, carrying this energy to the rest of your day. Take a big inhale in, big release. Bring your hands to your third eye, and let's bow to one another. Thank you for showing up. Just like I said at the start of this video, tomorrow's upload will be live at 7 a.m. so you can practice before your work or anytime during your day. Make sure to check back in, hit that bell button after you subscribe so you don't miss out on your notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!